Hey everyone, this is Erica Sabo. Welcome to another episode of Mind It. Hey everyone, at long last I am doing part 3 of my best games of 2013. It's been long enough. It's been a busy past couple days, just finishing off my vacation, but I'm trying to get back on track with videos and just to wrap things up. So let's see what I've got. So I'm going to start things off with Shin Megami Tensei 4, which came out on the 3DS in 2013. Now, at this point, it was 9 years since a Shin Megami Tensei game had come out in the main series. Last time we had one was Nocturne. This was 2004, and this was an amazing game. But, very cruel game. Very cruel game. And you know, there was a point where I think a lot of people were like, when are we actually going to be getting another one? There was a really nice tie-in right here, Strange Journey. I thought this was a really great game, and it held people over, but it took long enough considering the game, but these games have always been very ambitious despite being traditional turn-based games. So I think that Shin Megami Tensei 4 took a different spin on the series while still keeping a lot of the elements that makes it true to what it is. And I think it did a really great job of it, and I think that's why it's become such a popular game. Not only that, but I think it's also become, I'm not going to say it's become more accessible, but it's definitely, because I don't know. It's hard to say. I guess it has maybe become a bit more accessible because there are a lot of newcomers who have just started with the series who are really enjoying 4. And when you look at games like Nocturne, it's a pretty menacing game. It's not very accessible at all. It's quite scary, quite intimidating. So I guess, yeah, in a way, this is more accessible, but it doesn't sacrifice any of the key elements. It just has more, I don't know, it's more fun. It's not nearly as ruthless as past games, which is fine. That's fine. If it's still difficult, that's great, you know, and if it still caters to the hardcore Shin Megami Tensei fans, then I'm all for it. I'm all for it, and this is definitely one you should check out and you should have in your collection. Next game on my list is Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. I really loved Luigi's Mansion on the GameCube. I thought it was a really fun little spin on Luigi. I mean, there wasn't a lot of attention given to Luigi, and considering last year was the year of Luigi, I think that, yeah, you know what, he really deserved this sequel, considering what a fun game it is. And I think that this one definitely ramped things up. I think that Dark Moon offered a bit more than the GameCube version did, and it offered a multiplayer element too that seems so perfect. So perfect. And it really celebrates the quirkiness of Luigi more than anything. Like, one of my favorite parts by far is when he's just like, he just has to be terrified, and it's the most hilarious thing ever. He's just talking to himself or mumbling or whatever. And even those little moments, it just characterizes him so much. It's like, that's Luigi. He's just like, he's the anti-hero. You know, he's not like Mario. He's never going to be like Mario, but he has these qualities to him that you can't help but love, right? So that's why that's actually one of my favorite parts of the game, is just experiencing him. Really he's the spotlight here, so relish that. But it does have some really great puzzles in it too, and has really nice exploration elements in it as well. So I thought it was a really addicting game, really fun, and you know, it was even better that we got to play with friends too. So I would definitely check that out. If you haven't checked out the GameCube version, that's fine. Honestly I'd say go to Dark Moon and check that out. It's on the 3DS, and yeah, well worth your time. Now, the next game on my list is Metro Last Light, which is the sequel to Metro 2033. It's a post-apocalyptic first-person shooter based in Moscow, and it's based on a story, which I'll get to in a little bit. It has much more refined controls compared to the last game, much more like AAA feel, but the game itself doesn't have a AAA feel at all. It's really cool, really engaging. If you're looking for a really mature first-person shooter, I definitely recommend it. It has some really, really amazing, scary, immersive moments in it. I think the atmosphere and the story itself especially are what will guide you forward. So if you are a fan of first-person shooters and you're looking for something more mature, much more story-driven with tight controls, then this is definitely it. Now, in terms of the book, I have like a lot of gripes and a lot of questions, because Dmitry Glukovsky created Metro 2033 here, and he made a follow-up, Metro 2034, that came out in 2009, and it's like an in-between between Metro 2033 and Metro Last Light. And it's funny how it was translated into German, English, French, or not English, German, French, Spanish, and Serbian, yet it hasn't been translated into English yet. It's 2009, and it still hasn't been. So unfortunately, I feel really bad, because I know that Glukovsky wanted this to roll a lot more quickly, but obviously did not. And it seems like we're finally going to be getting the English translation, apparently February 20th. So let's hope for that. What's even more interesting, though, is that Metro Last Light had an Easter egg in it hinting at a new book, Metro 2035. It's supposed to come out December 2013, but it never did. Or maybe it did in Russia, but I can't find it on Amazon. And Dmitry is very hard to find online as well. He's like a mystery. He's just shrouded in mystery. So are we ever gonna get 2035? I really don't know. I don't know. And if it already took this long for 2034 to be translated into English, I'm not sure. I really don't know. I don't know that why they would put an Easter egg in like that if it's not actually going to be released in North America in 2013. What I find really interesting actually about the process is that the games, well, they're not as popular as other first-person shooters by any means. It is pretty popular to a point where it ended up getting a video game sequel. That's a really, really big thing. That's a lot of money. Yet these books are not getting the attention they should be getting. Metro 2035 is supposed to be much more in-depth story for Metro Last Light. So if there's more that you want to find out about the world and what's going on within the game itself, you'll find it out through there. When we'll get it, who knows? Who knows? But if you haven't played the game, I would definitely check it out. Next up is Phoenix Wright Dual Destinies. Now, it's been a while since we've had a Phoenix Wright game. I mean, we had Apollo Justice, but that didn't star Phoenix Wright. So before that, we had Trials and Tribulations. And then we also had the Miles Edgeworth Investigations game, which was great and all, but I really wanted a Phoenix Wright game. So if you miss Phoenix Wright as much as me, then I'm sure you're going to be just as excited about this game as well. Unfortunately, it's a download only on the Nintendo eShop, which is a huge bummer because in Japan it was actually a physical release. I just found out that from a friend who's a big fan of the series. So super bummed, but at the same time, you gotta say, like, for a 3DS Phoenix Wright game, it is awesome. It is awesome, and I really hope that Nintendo sees that, you know, this is a really great series, and it's deserving of these physical copies. Of course, we wouldn't be getting Dual Destinies as early as we did if it was a physical copy, but that said, it's still well worth your time whether or not you're new to the series. It has a lot of the same elements to it, of course. There's some new little strategies involved, but overall, I mean, it's the same game. It's amazing though. It doesn't need to change. That's the best part about it, is it doesn't need to change. It always has really great puzzles in it. And yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say. If you know Phoenix Wright, you know how unique the gameplay is and how intriguing these mysteries are at the same time. So let's hope for another game really soon. Dual Destinies is great, so please do check it out if you have the eShop. Now, the last game on my list is Galactic Cafe's The Stanley Parable. Now, if you haven't heard of this game, you absolutely have to try it. If you have Steam, get it. If you don't have Steam, download it and get it. And just play the hell out of this game, because it is something so special. It is so special. It's a very paranoia-inducing game, much like stories from The Truman Show, or Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, or Being John Malkovich, or Brazil. It has a lot of charm to it at the same time as a very Terry Gilliam feel to it. It's without giving too much away. That's one of the things that I have to keep in mind, is I can't give anything away, and I've tried not to give anything away for any of the games that I've mentioned, because it does ruin the experience to an extent, I feel. And this one especially. I feel like this is a game that you need to play, and you need to play without any knowledge whatsoever about it, or as little knowledge as you can. But you can expect there to be a lot of a lot of instances of paranoia and trying to wrap your head around these hypocrisies and around these roundabout things. Like when you think about something like a mise en abîme, for instance, or just a loop of a loop of a loop, it's really engaging, and it's madness. It's pure madness, and I think that it's a really smart take on a game of its kind. I think it could have gone in plenty of different directions, and it did one of the smartest things I've seen in games to date. I haven't really been as in touch with indie games as I usually am each year, but this one, I think this one definitely brought me back into that mode, and I am so happy. You have no idea. So happy. Or maybe you do, because you can see how much I'm smiling. So it's definitely worth your time, and please check it out. I might even be doing a Let's Play of it, to be honest. It's that good. I hope you enjoyed my Best of 2013 Part 3. That's it. That's it. I have a lot of games that I cut out, or games that I didn't spend enough time with, unfortunately. So if there are any that you feel I should have mentioned, please comment below. Let me know what you think, but also let me know some more of your picks of the year and what some of the most defining moments were of those particular games. So I hope you enjoyed. Please turn again soon for another video very soon, whatever that may be. I don't really know, but we'll see. And yeah, I'll catch y'all later. Peace.